Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean. This is In The Mix as we continue our Hashtag United series in Football Manager 2019. Episode 40, which is absolutely crazy. We are up to Season 7 and we are going to go through basically our off-season transfers, everyone that's come in, our results over that period, go and do some in-depth introductions to a lot of the new players that we've actually brought in, and then we're going to play the first game of the season against Macclesfield up in Vanarama National Football for the first time. So we'll start at the start. The guys that have stuck around from last season. Scott Gibbons is the first. He was our star goalkeeper last year, had a fantastic season. Only 38 conceded in his 42 games. He was excellent, deserved an opportunity at the higher level. He has kind of caught up a little bit in terms of current and potential ability. He was further ahead of other people last season, but he's going to stick around. Joe Norman, obviously exceptional. We picked him up from Norwich, was it? Watford, sorry. Kind of a couple of games into last season, ended up playing making 39 appearances. An excellent central defender at this level and progressing nicely in that ball-playing defending role. Sean O'Neill will continue on for another season. We actually gave him a 2-year deal when he first signed, so he's in the second year of that now, but he was excellent on the right-hand side of midfield, just creating chance after chance, chipping in with 7 goals as well from his 41 appearances. Oliver Heim will hang around, but he has actually been replaced in our starting 11. Deep line playmaker on defend, excellent in that role, really great attributes for someone so young. Ex-Bournemouth junior, left-footed player, always like that left-footed deep line playmaker. Valeriano Rodriguez has hung around for another season. Again, he actually signed a 3-year deal when he signed, so he's through to the end of next season as well. A force on that left-hand side for us. 8 goals in his 42 appearances. Absolutely excellent. There's someone chomping at the bit for his position this season, but we'll introduce him in a moment when we go through the new players. And of course, I think the big one, Keith Meir. Off screen, you guys didn't see it. He finished the league season as the Player of the Year with a massive 7.57 average rating for the season. Finished with 41 goals for the season, 42 league appearances, 39 goals in the league. That 41 goals is now a club record. He's beat Tashan Richmond's previous record when we were playing in the lower divisions. We've signed him on to another year, which is fantastic. It's full of performance-based incentives to keep him at £300 a week, but still only 19, an absolute beast in terms of finishing, off the ball movement, all that sort of stuff. If he can continue progression at the same level this season, he's going to be magnificent. And the last two, I won't click on them. Luke Austin, who was our wing back last season at right back, he's hung around for another year. And George Uri as well will be one of our backup midfielders. Everybody else that's come in is effectively a new transfer that's been signed to the club. A couple of them we've signed direct from teams on free transfers, but most of them we waited for their contracts to actually expire before we offered them deals, and then when we offered them deals, they came across after that, which is fantastic. We're just going to go through each of them now. We'll start at the top, Jimmy Chandler. Jimmy Chandler's going to be a backup deep line forward, signed from Stoke. He never made a first-team appearance, but he's a left-footed player. He's got good potential. Still only 2-star current ability, but that will grow on £200 a week for 2 seasons, so that if he's not working out well, we can try and sell him on to somebody either in a lower division or a higher division. Good finishing, good technique. Really just his passing needs to improve, and it's already in an 8, so he's got a lot of the key attributes that we're looking for in that deep line forward role. Chris Waring will be our right-sided wing-back. Ex-Southampton player, 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, great natural fitness, good determination, teamwork. Some of his technical attributes need a little bit of work, but you can see some of the important ones here, like crossing, marking, tackling. They're already sitting at 8s and 9s, so if he has a good season, they'll go up into double figures. He'll continue his progression and we'll have a better player for it. Kieran Fitzpatrick, Irish sounding name, Irish sounding left back. He'll play as our left-sided wing-back and start the majority of the games. Again, 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential, some excellent attributes already, can take a free kick, and very similar situation actually. He's crossing 7, he's marking and tackling at 8 and 9 respectively. If they push up into double figures, he's going to be an excellent player for this level. And then Darren Downing, we did speak about in the last video, wanting to get a left-sided central defender. He is that. Decent pace, acceleration and strength, good decision-making, which is important for a centre-back. His concentration and perhaps his off-the-ball positioning need a little bit of work. They're sitting 7 and 8 respectively. Some of his technical stats will improve. The big one that he needs to work on is his passing range. It's only currently a 5, and we are using him as a ball-playing defender on defend, so it is one of the key attributes that we really want him to continue to work on. Ben Gardner next, he'll be our backup goalkeeper for this season. 2-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. Only on £50 a week, a very low risk there. Signed from NK Dons after they released him at the end of his youth contract. Similar story with Jamal Chambers, he'll be our backup advanced forward playing behind Keith Meir. Ex-Lincoln player, 2-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. Excellent finishing first touch. Decent physical attributes, decent mental attributes as well. Some of his technical stuff needs a little bit of work, but if he makes the most of the opportunities as he gets them in matches, he's going to be absolutely fine. This is the man I mentioned earlier for the left wing spot, Chancel Kiyembe. I butchered that pronunciation then, but I promise I'll get it better throughout the course of the season. He's been going toe-to-toe. Really, I was 50-50 on whether to start him ahead of Valeriano Rodriguez. I'll go through why in the results section, why we've kept Rodriguez in that spot. But again, good technical attributes. A lot of the key ones here are sitting around 9s, 7s, 8s. If they progress this season and move to 10s, he's going to be phenomenal for this level, and potentially one that we could take up into the higher division as well. Released from Norwich, never made a first team appearance for them. Great acceleration, tremendous pace with 15, and he'll be a fantastic person to bring off the bench on that left-hand side. Nick Willis, backup central defender, likely playing behind Joe Norman because he is the right-footed option. Technique needs a lot of work, to be honest. Mental stats are pretty decent, physical attributes are pretty decent as well. But really just one we're looking to bring in as a squad player. He's only on £50 a week, so it's a low risk move for us. If it goes wrong, we can move him on relatively quickly without any drama. Next is the tremendously named Bobby Sargent McGee. He's going to be our deep line playmaker on defend. You can see he can also play the box-to-box role, but we've brought in an excellent box-to-box player. 10 first touch, 10 passing, 8 tackling, 9 technique. That's phenomenal for this level, for the key attributes for his role. His composure and decision making do need a little bit of work, but like 18 teamwork, 10 vision, 13 work rate, 8 positioning, like they're key attributes that they can very quickly go up into double figures. 16 bravery as well, 10 aggression, 10 anticipation. Like he seems like he's built to be that ball winning player that we need, but also has enough technique about him that his passing range is good enough to still be that deep line playmaker. So I'm not too worried about his comfort in that role because so many of his key attributes are in a really good place. A physical beast as well. He's going to be excellent. Ex-Tottenham. Tottenham's been a happy hunting ground for us in terms of juniors that we've brought through, thinking all the way back to the likes of Armando Shashua. Ollie Chadwick's next, a right-sided midfielder signing from Arsenal. Again, a raw talent, and that's why he's one of the backup players that we have. Great work rate, decent flair, good aggression, natural fitness is 15, 14 pace, 13 stamina. Technical attributes need a little bit of work, but there's a couple of 8s and 9s here. If they move up into double figures, we'll be absolutely laughing. Likely to be a backup for Sean O'Neill on that right-hand side, but again, on £50 a week, so like he's not going to cost us a tremendous amount of money. Next one, Richard Threkage. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. It might be Threkage. We're just going to call him Dick Thrash for the rest of the season. He's going to play as our deep line forward alongside Keith Mears. Now, this was the position that I had the biggest difficulty actually trying to find someone to bring in. We probably scouted about 50 different central forwards. Initially, he wouldn't actually come to us. Ex-Chelsea junior, we've never signed anyone from Chelsea directly before. So we had to wait for his contract to go. We offered him, I think, a trial the day his contract expired, and it took another 2 weeks before we could get him in on trial again. Once we did, we had to work him down to £300 a week. So he's on a 2-year deal. He's got a lot of performance-based incentives similar to Keith Mears, but if those two can start working together, they're going to be absolutely phenomenal. 14 acceleration, 13 stamina, his highest physical attributes. Good leadership off the ball and teamwork. His composure, decision-making and vision do need a little bit of work. Some of his technical attributes are excellent, like 13 finishing, 10 heading, 10 technique. His passing at 6 needs a little bit of work in that deep line role. His first touch at 9 is going to get up to 10 really, really quickly. But 18 years old, captain under 19 level for Ireland. He's going to be absolutely fantastic, and he takes the number 10 shirt. The first season, actually, we've been able to assign our own squad numbers, so he has the honour of wearing our first allocated number 10. Next is Ash Bolton, ex-Walsall and last season on loan at Hednesford in the Vanarama North. Just a backup player for Kieran Fitzpatrick, but again, 15 aggression, 17 bravery, his highest attributes. Decent physical stats, decent mental stats, just some of his technical attributes need a little bit of work, and he's not super comfortable yet in the wing-back role on the left-hand side, but left-footed player, he's going to give us good balance on that side. If he makes the most of his opportunities when they're presented to him, he'll be absolutely fine as well. And last but not least, Jacob White, who is an absolute star. He's the last player that we actually brought in because it took us forever to get him. It took us about 3 weeks, I think, to get him to come on a trial. And then once he was on the trial, it took us forever to get him down to £300 a week for negotiations. So really a 5-week ordeal to try and sign him. He's just made it in before the start of the season, which is great. You can see here double figures for all of his physical attributes, which is absolutely fantastic. We're going to work him as the box-to-box midfielder. Mentally, he's got good determination, off-the-ball teamwork and work rate, which is exactly what we need for that. He does have a little bit of improvement to make in the technical attributes aspect, but look at how many 8s and 9s there are here. 10 free kick taking is his one double-figure attribute, but dribbling, finishing, first touch, passing, technique, all 8s or 9s, headings even an 8. So if he continues to play well at this level, continues to get opportunities in the first team, he's going to be absolutely fantastic. And a lot of those traits will quickly move to double figures, and he's going to be fantastic for us. 2-year deal for him, £300 a week, very similar to the other guys that we've spoken about with high potential. He's on a lot of performance-based incentives, so I think he gets like 2k if he makes the team of the season. He gets 2k if we win the league trophy, or not the league trophy, the FA trophy. And that's going to be one of our key focuses this year, is our cup competitions, because as you guys know, it was only 2 episodes that we were going through when our wage budget got reduced, and our finances haven't actually improved that much since then anyway. We do have an extended wage budget this season. It was moved up to 5k. Then when I got offered a new contract, I said I needed more wage to be able to bring in the players to achieve what they wanted, which was stay in the division. We're still at negative £745,000, which is crazy. We're only bringing in income of 1.4k a month and expenditure of 11k per month, which is absolutely crazy. Under that projection, we're probably expected to lose about our overall balance is projected to be about 1.5 million in debt, which isn't great. We still don't own our stadium. We're still renting, which I think is a waste of money, but we are still within our wage budget. So if they reduce it again, that's okay. We can actually make do. What will eventually hurt us again is if they reduce it during the course of the season. And it won't hurt us because we've got a really good squad here now. But if they do reduce it again, it's going to limit what we can do in the transfer market, what we can do in January, and in reality who we can re-sign. So there's quite a few players that you'll see that are on 2-year deals, because I'm conscious that they may actually take the wage budget away from us again, and we're going to have a tough time actually re-signing anybody. So a lot of the guys we've brought in have been given 2-year contracts. Some of the guys on £50 a week, like I'm not worried about. We can cut them at the end of the season if we need to. There'll be teams that pick them up. As far as the under-23s go, the majority of players we've tried to push on. There's 4 still standing: Ricky Evans, Theo Baker, Charlie Morley and Daniel Adji. I've got a short list with everyone that's left on it. We're going to try and keep an eye on them so that we can offer them non-playing deals when they are eventually ready. Speaking of non-players, we've brought in 2 new coaches. The first one, and he's absolutely phenomenal, is Robert Green, ex-England international, celebrating with Chelsea in his 3rd kit last season. 20 fitness training, 17 attacking training, 19 determination, 18 level of discipline, like good at working with youngsters. He's on £200 a week until the end of the year. Like, that's crazy. I don't know how I've managed to drag him in, given some of those stats there. We've also brought in a couple other regen players: Simon Price, he's nothing special, and Leighton Morris as goalkeepers. We've got a lot of coaches, which is really weird for this level. Usually you've got 1 or 2, we've got 6. And I think that's just because we've kept getting promoted and kept bringing people on. But the reason we've signed these guys is so that if there are players that retire, players that get older, we can try and offer them coaching positions, bring them in, and get rid of some of these guys that we've just used at the drop of a hat. Now, very quickly, we're going to go through our depth chart, which you can see up on the screen now. We did this at the start of last season and we won the league, so we're probably going to continue trying to do it as a bit of a good omen. If we win the league again, we know that it's the key. But I do recommend that everybody does it, no matter what save they're doing. Write down what players you've got. It's just easy to remember where your holes are and where your depth is. We do have 1 space available, which is at centre back. We have been looking at a couple of different players. There was a great player named Ben Thompson who we wanted to bring in. We're looking at 1 goalkeeper at the moment, Taylor Dennis, who just seems like high quality but doesn't quite want to come yet. But when we look at expired contract players, at 18, we probably could expand it to 19 and have a look at a few. There's no one really there that's doing it for me. That's really making me think, oh, they're better than anything we have available at the moment. So there's Nathan Jackson here. He's only a 2-star player. Like, we've got Nick Willis and Darren Downing already. What I really want is someone to come through that looks like they're going to be like at the level of Joe Norman. That we can bring them in, offer them £300 a week, close out the squad that way with an actual superstar signing, rather than trying to just bring in a high potential player for the sake of it. Like, we've got good depth at the moment. We don't have to worry too much about it. But really, that's the only hole that I wasn't able to kind of close out, getting a really good central defensive partnership. Having said that, if Darren Downing continues to perform well, like, I've got no concerns leaving him in there for the whole season. He'll be excellent for us. But it's just always good to look at your depth chart, see what you need, see what you're going to try and bring in, and plan your transfers accordingly. Alright, I think that's more than enough talking from me. We're going to jump straight into the game against Macclesfield now and go through the starting lineups. Alright, I fucked up a little bit and pressed play way before I should have. You'd think after 7 seasons I'll be better at this recording stuff, but I'm still horrific at it. So here's the lineup we're going with. Gibbons, of course, in goal. Fitzpatrick and Warren, the 2 new fullbacks on either side, playing in those wing-back positions. They're going to be great. Downing and Norman as a central defensive partnership. They've had the whole preseason together and the results have been great. I forgot to go through the results. I have not been on fire today. White and Heim will play as the central midfield partnership. Bobby Sargent McGee, who we spoke about, he's actually picked up a knock, so he's going to miss this game, but he should be back in time for the next one and come in for Heim. O'Neill and Rodriguez on the wings. Rodriguez had a phenomenal preseason, so I kept giving him and Kiembe chances on the left wing to try and figure out who would actually start. Kiembe's got high potential, but I think Rodriguez has been playing better. He's scored about 7 goals in pre-season in like the 10 or so games that we've played, and it's hard to really argue with that. He's still only 2-star ability in the current role. He's still not 100% comfortable on left midfield, even though he's played a whole season there. But he's just played so well, so it's really hard for me to then drop him. So he's going to start, and I've given him the number 11 shirt for the season. However, if his form dips or anything like that, or the team's struggling or not doing well, Kiembe will come in and be a more than sufficient replacement on the left-hand side. Threkaj and Mir will play up top. Hopefully their partnership can get underway. They've only had a couple of games together in pre-season, but if they can get a formidable partnership going, they are going to tear apart this division. 41 goals from Keith Mir last season, player of the season for the club and for the league itself. He's more than ready to make the step up into Vanarama National Football. Alright, and enough from me. Let's get going in Season 7, Vanarama National Football. Here we go, kick-off ball forward. I'm thinking this is just a highlight to kick off the game, and it is. Maxfield in a sharp-looking kit. Rodriguez with the ball forward. Norm goes forward, and Keith Mears just offside. We'll have a look at this in 3 dimensions. Oh no, we're not going to see it because it was ruled out, but I'm pretty sure Norman's goal was going in, and Mir didn't need to touch it, but I guess he's a goal sneak. He's going to always want his goals. But good, encouraging to see from the start that we are ready to go. Around the grounds, Salford's still in the division. They have been promoted once and then relegated straight back down. It's a very different looking Salford team, but they've gone a goal down to Cambridge. I think it's Cambridge and Forest Green are the 2 sides that were relegated last season from League 2. Forest Green look really good. They're down 1-0 right now to Hartlepool, but their squad looks fantastic. So they're ones to keep an eye out for throughout the course of this season. And as far as the pre-season odds makers are concerned, it's Forest Green and Salford that are the 2 favourites for the league. We are 900 to 1 favourites to win it. We are far and away the worst team in the competition as far as pre-season odds go. But we're doing well here. White comes forward and gets a strike away, and it was just screwing away from the far post. So, decent 20 minutes. We've had a couple of highlights. We haven't seen much from them, but neither team has registered a shot on target. Here we go. Fitzpatrick with the first free kick of the season. It was a decent arc on it, but just too much height and over at the near post. 30 minutes in, so we're going to use our demand more shout and see how everyone responds. Most people are focused, which is good to see. Fitzpatrick is nervous, which is weird. He's played like Premier League under-18 football for Leicester. He's probably played at a higher division than this. Alright, it looks like we're going to go into half-time at 0-0. They've had 6 shots, 1 on target, 49% possession, but no highlights to speak of. We've had 5 shots, haven't got any on target, 51% of the ball. But we have had 2 or 3 different highlights in there, so not anything to be upset about. So we're just going to assertively say, I'm happy with your performance so far, keep it up. We need to boost some of this morale early in the season, get it up to green as quickly as we can, and then go from there. Alright, and away we go in the second half. We'll give it another 15 minutes as we usually do, and then we'll have a look at making some subs. We do have some quality to come off the bench as well. Looking around the grounds, only 6 teams have taken a lead in their game. Stockport's the only one winning by a multiple goal margin. Everyone else is currently involved in a draw, so you can see how tight this league is going to be already just from the first day. Alright, and now we'll go on, so we're going to make 2 subs. George Uri is going to come on for Jacob White, who struggled a little bit, and we're going to give Chancel Kiembe his Chancel on the left wing for Valeriano Rodriguez. Both have responded positively to the team talks as they've come on. And as we so often do, we're going to use our Get Creative shout with an hour gone and see if we can push on for the last 30 minutes. I'm going to make a conscious effort this season to not use all 3 of my subs at the same time. Everyone's responded inspired, which is great. And hold one until like the 80th minute, just in case someone gets sent off, because it was such an issue for us last season finishing with 10. And with the higher quality opposition this year, like we're not going to get away with it as much as we previously did. Muir and Thrakaj aren't really, or Dick Thrash are not really playing as well as they potentially could. So maybe we look at Jimmy Chandler for the next one. I've also got Austin. Here we go. Got a free kick. Fitzpatrick from deep down. He gets his head up on it. Is he going to be the first? Oh, no. It's an own goal from Oran Jackson, the central defender for Macclesfield. Let's check it out in 3 dimensions and see how it looks. I thought Downing was maybe going to get a debut goal there for the young man. Good ball in from Fitzpatrick into a dangerous area, and Jackson's just trying to keep it away from, I think that's Keith Mear, the big number 9, and just pushes it back into his old net. Look, it's not our goal, but I'm going to take it as a goal. I'll take the 3 points as well if we can. Sees us immediately jump up into 5th spot. Another goal would see us go equal top. though they do have a free kick here. Hines from distance, and thankfully it is well over. That is their first highlight of the game in the 70th minute. And usually if you haven't seen a highlight until late, it's going to be a ball going in the back of the net. So we're 1-0 up without having a shot on target yet. That's definitely a key area for improvement. And I guess that kind of explains some of our attacking players' low scores. Like O'Neill's got a poor score, Rodriguez and White had poor scores before they came up, so did Mir and Thukai. So maybe we're just creating chances, but they're garbage. Ferguson with the corner in. It's headed forward, but thankfully never really looked like trouble in the goalkeeper. We're going to use a shout with 15 minutes remaining. Oh, actually, let's look at that last sub and see if we can get ourselves a hero on there or some fresh legs. Not forgetting that Dick Thrash and Jacob White only joined us late in pre-season, so they haven't actually played that many games. So we might use that as incentive to make the sub. Keith Mears is our best finisher, so I'll leave him out there. We'll bring on Jimmy Chandler to make his debut as our deep lying forward, and he'll continue his development. He actually signed for us before the transfer window opened, and then came in as soon as pre-season started. So he's had a full pre-season, played in most of the games, and also had more time working on his new player role. As well as bringing him on, I'm also going to use our shout once it eventually loads up and lets me, and just tell everybody that we demand more, and hopefully that can just give everyone a bit of focus for the last 10 minutes so we can hold on to this lead, or hopefully catch them on the counter and finally get a shot on target. Alright, so most of the defensive line is focused, as it is Sean O'Neill on the right wing. Alright, 4 minutes to be added on here. They've got a free kick late. Cooper with the ball across. It's flicked away by Downing. Comes out to Barnes. Gets it back into Franks. Squared to Williams. Gets a strike away. It's pinballing around everywhere. We get it away and we had a 2v1, but the referee calls full time. Oh, that was frantic. I thought they were going to smash one top corner. So considering they just had about 4 shots in that last couple of minutes, it's not a horrible stat line. It's 13 shots, 1 on target for them. 47% possession. We had 10 shots, none on target, 53% possession, and 1 via an own goal. So it's not the most beautiful football we've ever played in our life, but it's a win on the first day of the season, and really, what more could you ask for? Just going to tell everyone calmly, really special lads, nobody gave you a chance, but you played magnificently. Continue to boost that morale. Hashtag United, Edge Narrow, Macclesfield game, a 1-0 win. It was actually their player, Luke Franks, who got the man of the match award with a 7.6 rating. I think our highest was Joe Norman with a 7.2. Fair few debuts there for a few of the players, which is great to see. And as we look at our squad, we've got a couple of changes that are going to come in the next couple of days. Like Hyam will drop out, and we'll bring in Bobby Sargent McGee to get him a run of games. Hopefully he'll be excellent for us. We might even give Chancel Kiembe a go in the next game and just give Valeriano Rodriguez some time on the bench. But more than anything, like, we've got good depth, like no one under 2-star ability. Got a few players here now that are, 1.5, 3 stars, 2.5, 3 stars due to come into the pitch. A lot of these young players here that have got high potential ability will continue to grow and get better as the season wears on. So we're in a really good space. I'm actually really happy with how the transfer window went. If you like it, would have liked to have seen something different, chuck it in the comment section below. I will write back to you. Now, looking at our schedule, we're probably going to run a similar schedule to what we did last season, where we do probably about every 10 games or so to try and speed us up a little bit so we can get into league football before the release of FM20. So realistically, we're probably going to come back for around the Ebbsfleet and Port Vale games, around the 11th and 12th games of the season. But, like there'll be cup competitions, there'll be rescheduled games, there'll be all that sort of stuff. So it might change the individual opponents, but we will come back and do those matches. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's what I appreciate most with these videos. Feel free to like the video if you've enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want to be kept up to date on future videos, or you can follow @InTheMixer_FM on Twitter. We'll continue doing more content on there as we build up towards the release of FM20. There will be an FM20 video on the 1st of October to announce our saves for the beta and for the regular series as well. I'm really excited about the project that we have planned. But as always, I've been Sean, this has been In The Mixer, and don't ever forget to hashtag it.